Yo, what's going on everybody? How's it going? Raph here. Welcome back to another one of my videos. Today, I have what is in my humble opinion, probably the most underrated shoe of the summer right now. It's the Air Jordan 2 in the white and cement gray colorway. These came out in May if I'm not mistaken, but I literally just picked these up a couple days ago. Just walked into the store, picked these up, no hassles, no headaches, just how I like it. I don't think it comes to no surprise though. It's an Air Jordan 2, which is to be expected. They're not flying off the shelves. Nobody really cares about them. This is not my first pair though. This is my second pair actually. I'll get into that a bit later, but I've personally always liked the 2s. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you, well, I'm gonna first off give you a 360 look, tell you about the materials, tell you what I like and what I don't like. There's not much that I don't like. There's just one thing I gotta address, but you guys will see what that's about very soon. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So these shoes are comprised out of two different material mixes. So you got this faux reptilian print right here, and you basically got a smooth grain leather running all around the rest of the shoe, except for the tongue, which is synthetic. Doesn't feel really nice, but rest of the shoe does feel really plush, really soft, and it's gonna wear in very nicely. As you can see, it's already like pre-creasing, and it just feels overall very plush, very I feel like this shoe really completes the ethos of what the Air Jordan 2 should be, which feels like a luxury shoe. Now I'm not gonna say it feels like a $2,000 Gucci shoe or whatever. I'm not into designer stuff, but they do feel good. They do feel plush, very luxurious. I feel like my foot is going to be secure in those shoes. Look at that padding, man. Look at that padding. And the reason why I removed the insoles, which makes me think about it right now, let me go ahead and do that. This is probably my favorite part about the shoe. You got the insole right here. It says look up in the air. This is based off an ad campaign that was featuring the Air Jordan 2s back in the day. Personally really like this one. You got the Willis Tower. I don't know what it was called at the time that the Jordan 2s would have came out. The Sears Tower, the Willis Tower, I don't know. Somebody from Chicago correct me. But yeah, you got the tower right here. It used to be one of the tallest buildings in the world once upon a time, which is pretty cool. Not relevant to the video though, so let's go back on track. So that's that synthetic leather I was talking about. It doesn't feel very nice, but the rest does. The only hope I have is that it won't squeak as you're walking, because when Nike does use that cheap material on the tongue, when it rubs against the laces on the cotton, it creates an uncomfortable squeaking sound. So continuing on, another one of my very favorite parts of this shoe, the Jordan 2 in particular, it's a weird thing, but I really like this part where the outsole and the midsole connect. The fact that there's no stitching, it's like seamless. I really like that. I think it's very, very clean. And you also got this sort of pre-yellowed heel cup right here, this plastic heel cup, and you got yellowed eyelets right here as well. Personally, a lot of people were complaining. I personally like it. I think it gives the shoe a lot of depth and a lot of dimension, if that makes any sense. I think it would have been a little bit too flat. It would have been just white. And you got these gray accents in the back and the ribbing, of course, right here, as well as the Nike spell out with the embroidery around it. Somebody said on the video, I can't remember who, but somebody said on the video, watch it. One day they're going to remove the Nike, they're going to replace it with Jordan, and everybody's going to go crazy. You know what? I don't think that's a crazy theory. I think they could actually do that. It could actually happen. But one thing I wanted to talk about on this specific shoe, my pair, is the quality control is not that good. As you can see, you got this big stitching flaw right here. I don't know what happened exactly. It looks like they stitched it a bit too low. As you can see, it kind of goes up on the side, and which means that this part wasn't completely like sewn on. Honestly, I would return them, but I just want to go through the headache, and it's whatever, man. I'm gonna wear the shoe anyways, and you know, I'm not even pissed off. You know, that would be a big word, but big expression, should I say? But mostly disappointed, because you know, at the end of the day, I still paid 265 Canadian dollars for these shoes, which is not cheap. It's not peanuts. So we really want the best of the best, but we know that with Jordan Brand, it probably won't be the case, unfortunately. Also, one thing I find really cool about the Jordan 2, I think it's the only Jordan that does that. It's got the size on the outsole, and this is polyurethane as well. This is not rubber. This is polyurethane, so it definitely brings in a lot more comfort than usual. rather than this if this was rubber. And one thing about the Jordan 2 is that originally it came out with a heel air unit, which this one does have. It has a single heel air unit, but the previous retros of the 2s had a almost full length. I think it stopped at the toes. I think it's like 3/4 or something. From like 2004 to like the Off-Whites is when they were using that, and starting with the Off-White, sorry, they added the single air unit on the heel. And a detail that I would highlight as well, I think it's rather cool, it's the gradient effect on the piping right here. Got the gray to the black in the middle, and it goes back to darker gray. And like I said, this is not my first pair of Jordan 2s. My first pair of Jordan 2s was actually around 2019, so a couple years ago already. It was the 2011 retro of the Chicago. I can't remember if it's the home or away. I think it's the homes. It's the ones that came out recently with the black midsole. Got them. They were a size 11. So keep in mind they were a size. They were a half size up from what I usually would have got. I'm a true size 10.5, and they fit way too big. I impulse bought them. Unfortunately, when I was that age, I was a bit younger, and I wasn't thinking as much, and I just bought and traded over and over again, which led me to some unfortunate decisions, including these. I only kept them for like 2-3 weeks. First off, the steel toe. Let's not talk about that. These have a beautiful rounded toe, which definitely makes them more sleek, but the 2011s just had a big square toe, and this as well. This like ended like right here, and it ended in a super like square way. It didn't look good. It didn't look refined, which these in my opinion really do. They look high class, which is what the Air Jordan 2 should be. Don't forget, the retail back then was $100 or 105. I can't remember, but I don't know how much money that is now, but it sounds like a lot of money. I don't know a lot of people who are spending $100 USD back on shoes back in the 80s, okay? But this is not my first pair. Like I said, I got rid of them 2-3 weeks after I got them. It was definitely an impulse purchase, and I vowed to myself one day I'll get some other Jordan 2s and I'll get my correct size, and these are a size 10, so a half size down from what I usually get, and I'm very happy with how they fit. I tried them on at the store, 10.5. There was a lot of space, a lot of dead space like right here, which is why I'm surprised, because there's a lot of padding. It just felt weird when I was walking, and the size 10 just overall feels a lot better on my foot, so really not going to complain about that. And besides, the Jordan 2, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the Jordan 2 is just not a shoe that you want to have if you're very concerned about if your shoe shows some age, because I tried on this one right here for like 2-3 steps, not even. I literally took 2-3 steps, I'm not even kidding, and there's already like a crease right here. So not that it bothers me, it really doesn't, but just thought I'd highlight this if you guys are one of those people that are crazy about, which I understand, which are crazy about how their shoe ages and they want to keep them clean and fresh for the longest. I totally understand that, man. And one last thing before I end off the video, one cool thing about the Jordan 2 is that if you get a size 9.5 or lower, you get 3 eyelids. If you get a size 10 or above, you get 4, like I do. And if you get a size 11.5 or 12, don't quote me, but it's either one of those two. If you get either one of those two and bigger, you get 5, which is just crazy. But it's just to fit in with the overall aesthetic and the scale of the bigger sizes. But there we go, guys. I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys like the shoe. I know it's not gonna be a super popular shoe, but nonetheless, I really like them, and I'm definitely gonna get some wear out of them in the summer. Sorry, my cat's starting to meow and it's starting to stress me out. I can't really do my video properly, so I'm gonna end it here. It's perfect. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care of yourselves, guys. Enjoy.